Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Mama Doc Baby Doc podcast. We're so happy that you're here for another episode today. If you don't know us by now, hopefully you do, but if you don't, I am Rachel. I'm a pediatrician, and this is Renda. She is an OBGYN and my mother, of course.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Mama.
So I believe that your little man is turning 9 months old.
He did. Yeah, this
He did.
last week on Wednesday, he
Oh,
turned 9 months.
Wednesday,
So
9 months.
crazy.
I know that's like a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
crazy how the time flies, honestly. Like, I'm starting to think about his birthday when he turns a year and what we're gonna do.
And
It's
his
so
first
crazy.
Christmas, his first
His first
holiday. Yeah.
Christmas, I know,
Yeah.
it's really wild, honestly, and it's fun to think of, like, this time last year, how I was pregnant and had more free
Right.
time and more time to myself, could
Yeah, we
read a
won't go through
book,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's
like, I think this time last year, I started, like, feeling him move in my belly, which
mm,
was really cool, and now it's crazy to think he's this big honkin' chunk of toddler
yeah.
almost.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a good
He's
sized
starting
boy.
to act like a toddler too, which is really funny, but anyways,
Aw.
yes, he's
So
almost 9 months, it's so crazy.
that's so exciting. But
Mhm.
today you're going to do a special episode for us. Today, Rachel
Yeah,
is going to tell us all about her top 5 baby products that you need to get for the first 6 months of baby's life. And we don't have
yeah.
any, um, we're not taking any kickbacks from any companies. This is all
No,
just what,
I wish.
what she loves. Yeah.
I wish someone would give us some money for this, but no. Um, no, honestly, I feel like this is one of the top questions that I get from like friends and family and just people like that I see come through in our like social media inboxes and things is like what are the top items that you recommend? What are the best things? Um that I need to get for my baby for the first, 6 months of their life. And now that he's 9 months, I really like kind of looked back and thought about the things that were the most helpful. I really feel like I can finally talk about it. I know which products, were the most helpful. I'm a tiny bit of an expert. I just have one kid, but um I also have a unique position in the fact that I see babies all day
Right.
long
Right.
in clinic, and I talk with parents of new babies all day. And we really do talk about which products are best sometimes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I can talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So when we were talking earlier, you said you picked the top 5 based off of ones that you used the most, like
Yeah.
the everyday things that you needed and found helpful, the
Yeah.
items that made your life easier and just kind of better all around.
Yeah. I mean, most of these items are pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. We had a lot of generous gifts for our baby shower, honestly. Like we have a bunch of family and he's almost the first grandchild for every side of the family except for yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I
um,
know.
so um for some of these products, I do want to say that the brand doesn't matter as much, and sometimes you can find a cheaper alternative. But for others, the brand was what made it so nice and so helpful.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they can be expensive, but they're worth it in some cases for real.
Yeah. You guys are pretty blessed. Okay.
Yeah, we are. We really
Okay.
are.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with number 1. Rachel, what is the best baby product for under 6 months? No, wait, let's start with number 5. Okay,
Yeah.
then we can count up to number 1. Okay, so out of the top 5 best baby products for the first 6 months of life, what would you say is number 5? Okay?
Okay. So, yeah, I agree. Let's start at number 5 and work our way up to number 1. Build some suspense. I really feel like I need to do a TikTok reel or like a reel or whatever about this. I don't
Yeah.
really make TikToks, but if I did, I would make one about this. I don't know if you've seen them where the audio is like, "This is my Lady Mary and Bianca and Jessica." I need to do that for the top 5 and be like, "This
Okay.
is my Lady Mary." But anyways, okay. Number 5. Wait, you got to do a drum roll. Do a
I'm
drum
doing
roll
it.
for me.
This is the drum roll. It's here.
Oh, I hear it.
Drum roll.
Okay. Ding. Okay, so number 5, I feel like would be kite swaddles. I really tried a bunch of swaddles. So like when you're putting your baby to sleep at night, you want to swaddle them up in something. And I tried a million brands of swaddles when JJ was a newborn. And most of them really slid up on him until they were almost like covering his mouth and nose and eyes, even sometimes. I would like wake up in the middle of the night and look over, and his face would be half covered by the swaddle. Kite swaddles were really the only ones that stayed secure on him and didn't ride up on him. So what they are is they're really a sleep sack with a Velcro wrap around that you can make really tight. They also come with a black rubber band, which I think was what made the biggest difference is you tie the black rubber band around the bottom of the sleep sack so that it kind of holds it down. And I didn't know what to do with the rubber band at first. I thought it was just like part of the packaging. But it actually is useful if you tie it. John and I used to joke that he looked like a mermaid because he would be in his little sleep sack and we'd have the tie and the little fin would be at the bottom. It was cute. But so the kite swaddles, they are kind of expensive. I think they're $75 each. But like I said, I tried so many other swaddles and they really are the best for a newborn baby. I tried the Halo ones. I tried these Amazon ones that were cheaper, but were just Velcro over top. The only ones that I didn't try that might be good are the Ollie ones because they're kind of tight too. They might be good too. I'm not sure, but Kite was definitely my favorite. And you need like a good wrap for you're using it every night.
Yeah. So I kind of think $75 is expensive, but I
Yeah.
guess it's something you use every single night. Your baby sleeps in them. So
Yeah.
how many did you get?
Yeah, I had two. I would wash them once a week or so. If you got poop on it, I would wash it and then kind of switch it out. They recommend not drying them in the dryer and just laying them flat to dry, which I was initially doing. So that's why I needed two because it wouldn't dry in time for the nighttime that night.
Right.
Um, but I will say I have been putting them in the dryer ever since because who has time to lay things out to dry? Initially, I was like, this is $75. I'm going to do everything it says. And then it went out the window eventually. So I think you could actually probably get away with just one. I got the smallest size and he used that size honestly till he was 6 months.
Oh, that's good
Um,
because he's a big
yeah,
baby.
he is, yeah. So the smallest size will last you a while. And when he started rolling, I just took the Velcro wrap around off and didn't tie the bottom. And then it just became a sleep sack. So, JJ, like you said, is very big. If you have a normal size baby, you could probably use it up to 9 months or longer.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess that isn't too bad of a price if it's
yeah.
something that you're going to use every single day up until 9
Yeah.
months, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Now for sleep sacks, I'm really loving. There's another brand called I think it's Gunamuna. I don't know how to say it. I had a friend who
Okay.
recommended them, and the Kite ones are great. The Kite sleep sacks are great, but the Gunamuna one is just really soft and cozy. But we can do another episode like in a couple months on baby products for 6 to 12 months because really they start rolling at 6 months. So you really just need a swaddle before 6 months and a sleep sack
Right.
after.
Right. Okay. All right. So moving on to number 4, drum roll.
Ding.
Number 4.
I'm saying ding. I don't know what.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's number
Either
4?
way. Number 4 is the Four Moms Pack and Play. My brother and sister-in-law got this for us. And per their experience, they have 2 kids who are older, and per their experience they tried multiple different pack and plays, and they said for setup and takedown for traveling this one is the best. And I will say it is very easy to break down and pack up. When we traveled to Tennessee, John's sister got us a different pack and play just for her house, and we broke it down and took it to a hotel one night, and it was impossible to break down and pack up. And it was very frustrating. And you should have seen us in the hotel, like, what are we doing? How do you do this? So I can kind of see where they're coming from. The 4Moms pack and play is really nice. It is expensive. I think it's around $300, but I think having any brand of pack and play is very helpful. We used ours in our living room for the first 6 months of his life. We used it as a changing table and a bassinet every single day. It has the 4Moms one has the little attachments to make it into a bassinet and then also into a changing table. And that became his little station in the living room, which was so helpful because his room's upstairs. So when we didn't want to go all the way upstairs to take him to his room for like a nap or to change his diaper, when we were like in the kitchen or the living room, we would just put him to sleep in there or change his diaper there. And it was also, I know when you came, we used it, and it was helpful when you guys were here, because you could help with him and you didn't have to go upstairs and everything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do remember using it every day when I was there. We used it as his changing station. And I also remember he peed on me while I had him laying on it.
Yeah, I remember you jumping out of the way when he peed on you and letting him pee all over the carpet.
Yeah, well, better that than me.
Yeah, and we also use it for traveling, which is so nice. It gives you like a place for your baby to sleep when you aren't at home, and you can use it for several years while traveling. So a pack and play is super nice to have, and the 4Moms brand one is amazing, hands down. I love it.
Okay, now moving on to number 3. That's number
I can't make a drum roll like you can. Okay. Number 3 is the Baby Bjorn bouncer. Really any type of bouncer. We had the Baby Bjorn one, and we literally used it every single day from newborn until 6 months. I was actually really sad when we put it up into storage because we literally used it so much, but now he's too big for it and doesn't want to sit in it. But I have so many pictures of him in it from like right after he was born all the way up to 6 months, and it's crazy to watch him grow, and I love it. But this bouncer is really, really helpful. Really any bouncer will be really helpful. JJ loved it and would sit in it while I would get stuff done around the house, while I was in the shower, in the bathroom, getting ready for work, while I was cooking dinner, even when I was like working out on the treadmill, or like, working out in our exercise room. I have videos of him sitting in it. And he really loved it. He did. He loved it. Because starting around like 3 months, they really want to be sat, even 2 months, they want to sit up to look around. They don't want to lay flat anymore. And so that it's really nice to do that. I think when he was a newborn, I wished that we had one that would bounce on its own, because I was constantly having to like use my foot to bounce it, which was a little frustrating, but I definitely didn't want one that needed to be plugged in, because the reason I loved this bouncer was because it was so mobile. Like I would move it all around the house. He also had a swing, but since it had to be plugged in, you had to use it like close to a wall. So we didn't use that as much as a bouncer. So get a bouncer.
Okay, so get a bouncer. That's right, get a bouncer. All right, ready? Number 2. Drum roll, number 2.
Okay, number 2 is the NoseBot. This is a nasal suction machine. I've talked to death, I feel like, about this on the podcast.
Yes, you have.
But the pediatrician in me had to make this a top choice. I had a few nasal suction devices that I used, and the NoseBot was hands down the best one. You definitely need some sort of nasal suction device. You will use it a lot, I promise. And the NoseBot is nice because it works well, and you can use it by yourself. You don't need like someone to help you hold baby.
Okay. I remember you using it. And I also remember that it is expensive too, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's like $130. I think right now on Black Friday sale, it's like $100, but still, it is definitely the most expensive nasal suction thing by far, but it works the best by far, honestly. And like I said, I use it a lot, a couple
Okay.
times a week for sure. The electronic nose Frida, we got that for our baby registry. It's not good at all. Do not buy it. Do not waste your money.
Okay.
The
Nose
blue
Frida
bulb,
doesn't work.
no, not the electric one. The manual one is great, but the electric one, do not buy it. The blue bulb suctions that you can take from the hospital, they work a little, and you can definitely use that, but there are better ones. The original nose Frida, the one that's like a straw where you put one end in baby's nose and the other end goes in your mouth. That one is the best one for your money, $10, $15. The only downside to that one is you have to have two people to use it, really.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you
Yeah.
could kind of figure it out, but one person has to hold baby's head straight, and then you really need two hands, one for your to put it in baby's nose. Honestly, it's just I can't see how you could do that by yourself, but maybe people have figured it out.
Okay.
um, and the nose bot's just easy. You can use it by yourself. You can hold baby and do it real quick.
And you feel like this is something that you use every day?
Maybe not every single day, but a few times a week for sure. And then when they're sick, you're going to use it a million times a day. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
JJ was really congested from the day he came home. I was suctioning out large green boogers from his nose, like man-sized nasty boogers on day one.
Okay,
And
great.
he's continued to be a little congested, and he is a daycare baby. So he has had colds at least one a month, honestly, if not more. He has a horrible one right now. I can
Oh,
put a picture on Instagram. This morning he had like
aw.
green snot all down his face.
Oh, poor baby.
um, but yes, so the suction machine has helped him to be able to like sleep better and eat better when he's been congested. You definitely want a good suction device, and the nosebot is expensive, but honestly, it's well worth the money. I promise.
Okay, so now, last one. Rachel, what is the number one best baby product for the first 6 months of life? I think I know what you're going to say because you talk about this product so much too. So tell us, Rachel, what is your number one?
Okay, number one is the Duna.
Yeah.
If you have talked to me or even John at all in the last few months, you know that the Duna is our most prized possession. Just kidding, but not really, honestly. I spoke about it in a million other episodes too, but a huge part of my life and our life, mine and John's, is traveling, getting out of the house, eating dinner out at restaurants. I'm not like a person who likes to stay at home a lot. And, after you have a baby, it's really hard to feel like yourself anyways. And the Duna kind of helped me get a little part of that of back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, it just makes it easier to get out of the house, run errands, go out to eat, and travel too. Um,
Right.
Other car seats, yes, they do fit into a stroller base, and that's nice, but it's extra work that you don't have to do with the Duna. I have a lot of friends and patients too. I will see they just end up carrying the infant car seat into places because it's too much work to take out the whole stroller, and they're heavy and it's just too much work. They're just like, I'm just going to carry it in.
Right. Right.
I also have friends who used a convertible car seat from the very beginning, like a car seat that goes from newborn until, you know, they're almost 2 years old
Yeah.
or even older,
Yeah.
which is nice because it's just one car seat for a long period of time. But then you have to transfer the baby to the stroller if you need to go inside anywhere. And if they're asleep, forget about it. You're not going to want to move
Right.
them.
Right.
And with the Duna, you can easily take them in and out of the car, pop out the wheels, and stroll into the store, the restaurant, wherever without waking them up. So,
Yeah, and I think it was also easy for travel, right? I mean, you
yes.
traveled up here to Alaska with JJ all by yourself,
Yeah.
and I think you used the Duna for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It's really great for travel because you really only need the one item. It's your stroller and your car seat all in one. You don't have to worry about bringing multiple items on the plane, checking one or both. It just makes it very easy. It's a huge convenience and 100,000,000,000% worth the money. It is expensive, but when I tell you it's worth it, I mean it. I mean it, especially if you're traveling solo with the baby. They need so much stuff, anyways. And the Doona combines two of the largest objects into one
Yeah,
smaller object. And I didn't even, the Doona does come with a base that you can put in the car and just you clip it in and out. But I didn't even take that with us when we went places. I just
right,
used a seatbelt, like an old school car seat,
right.
and clipped it into the car. So you don't even have to worry about taking the base. It is just perfection. Perfection.
So I have seen that they have a new one. And I'm not sure if the brand, it's Greico or something. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but it's similar, but the wheels come off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. We didn't try it, obviously. I think it's the Graco Shift, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen a couple patients with it. We didn't try that one because we had the Duna, of course. But another nice thing about that Shift one is I've heard that it is taller. Like the handle comes out taller for people who might
Mm,
be worried about the height of the Duna. When John and I were looking at the Duna, that's one of the things that we were worried about. Is it going to be, long enough
are you
for
going to be
us?
able to reach it?
Right,
That's
exactly.
right, because you guys are pretty
Um,
tall.
yeah. And another thing is what's nice about the Shift is that the wheels can also come off of the car seat. So you can have just a car seat and then you can have the car seat with the wheels, or, and it all goes into the car as a car seat, if that makes sense. The wheels can come off of it. So I honestly, like thinking back, I cannot think of a time when we would have wished that the wheels came off of the Duna, honestly. Maybe if we had two small kids and wanted to have like a regular infant car seat to hook into a double stroller, that might be helpful. I'm not sure. Also, when he got bigger, the car seat did get heavier. So I bet it makes it
Right,
lighter to take the wheels off, but I don't know that I
right.
would have ever taken the wheels off, if that makes sense. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Now I know that you and John are both like super tall. You're
Mhm.
like 6 foot tall, and John's like 6'7". So, do you feel like the Duna was too short for you?
Yeah, like I said, that was my biggest fear about it, but it really wasn't bad. Both John and I pushed it fine. I don't think it honestly ever crossed our minds that we wished it was taller.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
All right. So, yay! Those are your top 5 baby products for the first 6 months of baby's life.
Yeah.
Now, are there any other items that you think might deserve maybe an honorable mention? It
Yeah.
didn't make the list.
Yeah, there are a few items that I would say definitely take honorable mention. The boppy is definitely one of
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
It's not only helpful for breastfeeding, which is what it's made for. It's like a round, like a half moon shaped pillow that can go around your abdomen, so baby can lay on it while you're breastfeeding. But it's not just helpful for that. I also used it as a lounger quite frequently. JJ napped in it, which of course, that is not safe sleep. So we were always watching him when he was
Of course. Of
sleeping in it,
course.
of course.
Of
No, we
course.
really
Yeah.
did always watch him, but he
I
did
know.
nap in it. um, and really, he napped in it almost daily for the first 6 months of life. We had
Yeah.
it kind of in our living room on the ottoman, and he just laid in it and just loved it. Um, there also comes, like I said, a time around 2 to 3 months when they don't want to lay flat anymore. They want to look up and see
Right.
everything that's going on,
Right.
but they don't really have the head control and they can't really sit up great on their own.
Right.
Um, so the boppy is great for that too. You can kind of sit them up a little bit. It gives them a little lift. They can see around the room, and they're not like laying flat. We also used it for tummy time quite frequently in the first few months of life. We really used it throughout the day, every single day for sure. I know a few of my friends too have like one for each floor of their house, like one for upstairs, one for downstairs type thing. So it is definitely a great, great item. Get one or
Okay.
two.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So people shopping, you can get a boppy. That's not an
Hmm.
expensive gift to give.
No, it's
All
not.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about other honorable mention items?
Yeah, another one that I would say is we had the wild bird carrier. Really, any carrier is very nice to have. I had a couple and I loved the wild bird one. What I liked the most about it, more than other carriers, is that I was able to put it on by myself, which was
Right.
really nice. I have also heard really good things about another brand. I think it's Maybe or Mabe, I don't know, Nabe with a little accent. But I've heard really good things about that one as well. We also had a Lily baby carrier that we got secondhand from a friend, and it is very nice. Probably better for hiking because it straps in tighter and gives more support. But on the flip side, I couldn't put it on by myself. It has like a back strap that you have to clip in, which gives more support. But John had to help me every single time I put that one on, which is not
Okay.
ideal. But like I mentioned before, I'm not a homebody. I love to be mobile and on the go. And a good carrier, especially one you can put on independently, is so helpful. Like I use it to go on hikes, even to go shopping, grocery
Right.
shopping. When he was too little to put
The
into
buggy.
the
Yeah.
buggy, if you call it a
Yeah.
buggy or a cart,
Yeah.
whatever. Um, I would put him on with a carrier, and it was really nice. Um, and I used it. We've been house shopping here, so we've gone to a bunch of open houses, and it's been really nice. I also use it for traveling right before we get on the
Hmm.
airplane. I used it in the airport to kind of walk around and then get on the plane. Um, JJ is a huge baby. He is very heavy. So
Yes, he
having
is.
him in the carrier takes the weight kind of off my arms when I didn't want to have like the full stroller and everything.
Right.
I actually currently keep it in my car so that if I need to carry him for an extended period of time, I just grab it out and strap him up. So,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Okay. Yay.
honorable
Well, Rachel,
mentions.
thank you for that. Such great information. So, this is not just for moms or moms to be, but also for maybe like grandparents to be or aunts and uncles to
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
Great gift ideas. So,
for
that's all
sure.
we have for today. And to all our listeners out there, I just want to say thank you for spending time with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you listen to it and you're interested in some items, maybe recommend this podcast to your parents and to future grandparents and future
Yeah,
aunts and uncles, right?
for
Um,
sure.
we're going to have a new episode out every week. So come back next week for another topic. We really appreciate all of our listeners so very much. So tell your friends and family members to listen. If you like our podcast, give us a review. That helps other people find us.
Yeah. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear more about, reach out on Facebook, Instagram. If you know us, text us. Let us know kind of things you want to hear about or things you're interested in or questions that you have. All right. That's all we have
Awesome.
for
Awesome.
today. Have a
See
good
you next
rest of your
time.
week. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.